Hi humans. I wanted to very quickly, as quickly as I can, y'all know I'm kind of long-winded, to get on here and talk to y'all about these Charger practices and what we know out here. So again, DaRon Bland having another fantastic day, making things really awkward in that cornerback room because we have a second round and a third round pick that we really expected to take those next jumps. And not saying that they haven't had good times in practice, good times in games, but this is about stringing together consistent play. And DaRon Bland, listen, players like that have to understand the game. Like, not only does he have the athleticism and just the wherewithal to play that position, the gentleman just knows where he's supposed to be. Like, you don't break on balls the way he does, and he's just always around the ball. And like, as a DB and as a ball hawking defense secondary, like, this guy screams like, yeah, this is what you want. Definitely want him to start coming down with these interceptions, because that's two DaRon. That's two I use, one in the preseason, one a day. But that gentleman has a very good chance to make this team. I wouldn't be surprised if he does. And with the injury to Jordan Lewis, that doesn't sound like it's serious, but anything that's hammy, soft tissue, we keep an eye on. And you know Mike McCarthy don't play about that type of stuff, so they're going to slow play it. DaRon Bland is making the best out of every opportunity he sees on the field, and that's what you want to see from a dude. Really loving what I'm seeing from him. Leighton Vander, this is a gentleman I talked about a couple weeks ago. And I can totally admit when I was wrong. Now, I'm not saying that we have the full product. What I'm saying is that I felt as though that with Anthony Barr coming in, that this may make things kind of weird for Leighton Vander. Like, is this going to take away from his snap time? But this gentleman has responded with somebody on his heels, as he should. And he's just showing this willingness, and he's not scared to get his nose dirty. And that's something that we've seen from him this last couple of years post injury, is that if everything's not right for him, if the DTs aren't playing at a high level, that he has trouble getting in there and doing a lot of the dirty work that a linebacker is supposed to do. So seeing him come up and tackle, be physical at the point of contact is good to see from him. And that also leads me to believe, especially with how they're slow playing Anthony Barr, that maybe that's going to be a fair split of snaps. And like, maybe that rotation is going to be less Anthony Barr than what we think. And maybe Anthony Barr is going to be more pass rushy guy, and he's going to be in certain downs with certain downs. But I don't know. Leighton Vander has really showed up and played well in this camp, and I think that it's okay to recognize that, and he deserves that. Israel Mukuamu. Now, listen, hey, I was trying to figure out why I kept noticing Izzy, and I'm not saying I don't notice Izzy, but this training camp, I feel like my eyes just were in other places until this last couple weeks, and I was trying to figure out, like, why do I keep seeing him? Like, what is it about him? Number one, it looks like he transformed his body as well as all these other players. But number two, he's playing a lot of corner again, and we know this is his home position. Maybe the safety experiment didn't work, and he's back playing where he's supposed to be, and he's showing off some of that range, high point in the ball. He's always had an aggressiveness to him. He's always been a little chippy, but I think since he's put on a little bit more size, he's not afraid to, like, go make tackles and get kind of dirty and be a little physical at the line of scrimmage. I like what I see from Israel Mukuamu, and it also is kind of making me question what's going to happen with Kelvin Joseph and Nahshon Wright. Granted, if you're going to pick out of the two of those gentlemen right now, you would be swinging more towards Nahshon Wright's side. But with Israel possibly being an option at corner and then working him as an option at corner, that makes me think that maybe they're trying to see what they have there in that depth. And that's just interesting to me. It's just interesting to me. Quentin Bohanna, he let us have it on Twitter. Mostly David Hellman, but mostly all of us. This gentleman is somebody that I have to admit I was wrong on. I was definitely wrong on where I felt like he was on this depth chart, and where I felt like he was in comparison to a Ridgeway, to a Watkins, Quentin Bohanna, he seems so much more confident, even in his play. The pad level has come down, my friends. He's understanding his leverage, my friends. He is using his power. He's countering and taking on double teams. I'm like, okay, Quentin Bohanna, let us know then. And he was just oozing with confidence in his interview. And this is something that I've seen, you will see if you look at the player interviews, specifically on the defensive side of the ball. They're echoing a lot of the same things, and they're just really confident. I will not discount the idea that they are no longer in an install period. Dan Quinn isn't installing a whole new defense with a new set of guys, with a whole new staff in a COVID year. Just what they were able to accomplish last year with all of those factors, with all of those injuries, they're not doing that this year. They drafted pretty well last year, and it's put them in a better position this year. And we just have to give these guys time to develop with this specific D coordinator, because these gentlemen seem like they have the ability to teach in a way that maybe isn't the norm. Because this is, I could be tripping. It could be me. And it's not like, see, that's what I'm saying. I hope you don't come for me. No one is saying that Quentin Bohanna is a scrub. Ever. But this seems like a different player. Chauncey Golson, a different player. Neville Gallimore was already, but he is just a lot bigger now. Osa, pass rush move, different player. It's Anthony Brown, different player. Like, it's Micah Parsons, different player. There's some teaching that's going on here that we need to take a step back and enjoy while we have it. Having this coaching regime, like, the offensive side of the ball has its own problems, but this defensive side of the ball, y'all, take it in, enjoy it, watch these guys fly around, and let these guys develop into what we think they can be. It is going to be fun this year. With that being said, the defensive line, when you start really looking at the defensive line, you be like, who you gonna cut? How? Does anybody have trade value anywhere? Because Terrell Basham is a guy that I guess you can say, I would say, has had a quiet camp for the most part. And he just reintroduced himself this last couple of practices, games, and you just keep getting reminded how deep that DN room is. And it's like, what do? Who's going to be the odd man out? And you like to see all these gentlemen, getting a chance at the quarterback. Dan Quinn obviously likes to get multiple guys involved, but it is really stressing me how difficult it is to look at this defensive line and find really a single guy in there that you're just like, oh yes, right off the bat, like, yeah, cutting him. No, because even the guy that people thought that was gonna absolutely be cut has been pretty good, Tristan Hill. And it's just like, that's a whole nother conversation. But the D tackles seem like they are really clogging up that lane. Like, don't get it twisted. Denver couldn't run the ball like that, and the Chargers didn't run the ball like that. This is a common thing we're seeing, and it's exciting. It's exciting because that just allows our fast linebackers to do what they need to do and be free. Also got cornerbacks and safeties that are willing to come up and make tackles. Looking to see some improvement in the run game. It looks like it's improving, but we're going to see the tail of the tail. Terrell Basham, man, out of nowhere. All right, let me talk about this receiver core really quick. So what we know is that CeeDee Lamb did not practice because he has a toe issue. It's a toe scar, something that requires stitches. Hopefully he gets better, and it sounds like he'll be ready to go next week. Good. We don't got time for that. We really don't have it. We don't have it to be doing that. Anyway, Dennis Houston just continues to be Dak's guy. Just continues to be where he's supposed to be. And I am a Jalen Tolbert stan. But I am the first to admit that this last couple of weeks, him and Dak have not been on the same page as they were at the start of practice. I don't know if that's fluidity. I don't know if that's rhythm. I don't know if that's all of the movement around they're having to do. Micah actually mentioned that the temperature was like a lot different in that part of Cali that they were in, that they had been in. So just different stuff. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. Just something I noticed. And that, I can't believe that two spot is a lot more in limbo than what maybe I thought before, because I really was like, yeah, Jalen's gonna be the 2. Not so fast, says Dennis Houston. Noah Brown is dealing with a toe. It's said to not be serious, but if it's not some stitchy thing or something like CeeDee Lamb, I'm a little nervous about it, just because a toe, anything with receivers, is just, it stresses me out. It stresses me out. It just does, because I understand how much receivers need their toes obviously to plant and to be crisp in their route running. And that's something we've seen from Noah Brown, that his route running seems improved this year. And I don't want anything to take away from that. So keeping an eye on that. Hopefully he can come back and be ready to go. The TJ Vasher energy has calmed down a little bit, and Simi is going to make sure we see him and we know his name. Simi Fehoko has earned the opportunity to have the reps. So in this preseason game, Lord, I hope that he gets some shine, and I hope that he continues to do what he's doing in camp. He's definitely been a surprise player for me, and I see why the Cowboys have been so hush-hush about him. I see why they kind of hid him last year. Overall, I feel like those were the gentlemen I felt like I wanted to highlight and talk about. Your quarterback looks like your quarterback. There was a couple of clunky interception situations, but for the most part, your quarterback is really, like, there's just some spin on that damn ball. And your running back core just seems like, it's like, oh, okay, like, you got a Paul that looks amazing. I don't know what that plantar fasciitis did to him, but you didn't think he could look more bursty, but he does. Ezekiel Elliott made sure he let people know this practice. I liked it. I'm glad that he did, and reminded people who he is out here in these streets. Micah had like 1 million sacks. Not going to just glaze over it like it's normal or anything. His interview was fantastic. Just hearing his perspective and hearing him talk about how tired he was, and the fact that that's what made him want to play better. Like, you have a war daddy, like a real one too. Like, not saying that nobody else wasn't, but this man is cut from a different cloth. Definitely want to keep an eye on Jayron Kearse. I tuned into 105.3 The Fan, listened to those gentlemen. They do a fantastic job. Brian Broaddus mentioned that Jayron Kearse has been out for a back injury. They are saying back soreness. He was saying that he wasn't moving very well, and I don't know about y'all, but Jayron Kearse is someone I will never forget about, and I will never discount how important he is to this defense. So hoping for a healthy recovery for him, and that he's ready to go when the season starts, because he is just so intricate to what we do defensively, and I just don't know if another gentleman can step up and do what he does immediately. So we're keeping an eye on him, of course, Jayron Kearse, because he is an anchor of this defense. But overall, I think this was two, pretty good practices. I don't feel like there's a lot of bad things, I guess, to take from the practice. Not things that we didn't already know, obviously. This receiver core, this young receiver core, had good spots and they had bad spots. This running game seems like it's starting to find some cohesiveness, and they're starting to gel on their offensive line and open up some holes for these amazing running backs that we have back there. And also, they used Tony Pollard in the slot today, and I know that a lot of people think that that's probably not going to happen, but with this receiver core, I think that is very likely to happen, and that's where I stand with that. Dak is really healthy, guys. Like, he is healthy, and it's just evident in his play. And he is elevating these gentlemen. He is elevating these young receivers that he's playing with. Played without a CeeDee Lamb today, and they made plays. You know, they made plays. They're gonna have their rough spots because they are young guys, but quarterback's making it happen out there. He's working with what he got, and yeah, that's about it. That's all I got. I will talk to you guys about the preseason game once it is over, and hopefully we just continue to get more answers. Follow me on Twitter, Aisha with 2 eyes, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.